All right, you get a different perspective when you come up here as opposed to sitting down there. Welcome to the governor. I know he always has a busy schedule, and to our commissioners. It's lovely to see you here today for a very important cause. And I'm going to take the liberty of introducing some of our colleagues who are here. And I don't know if she qualifies as a local official or a state official, but I see a former assemblywoman, retiree, at least from the legislature, Assemblywoman Schimmel. It's nice to see you. From the New York State Assembly, in no particular order, but ladies first, Assemblywoman Slodge from Nassau County. Assemblywoman Palumbo from the east end of Long Island. And Assemblyman Ra from Nassau County. Ed, nice to see you. We have from our Senate delegation, one of our newest members in the New York State Senate, that's Senator John Brooks. And we have two of my colleagues here who I'm going to talk about in particular as a segue to what we're here for today. But I would be remiss if I didn't say truly heartfelt thank you to Jeff. And I have the luxury of joking around with him, calling him doctor, calling him Jeff, but I know him as Jeff and have known him for at least 25 years now. And the evolution in his professional career has followed the movement. His growth and his experience and his stature, I think, has been a real backbone for a lot of the things that everyone has been able to do. But your courtesies in having us here, extending them to the governor and everyone else is deeply, deeply appreciated by me personally, and I know all of our colleagues. But it's Terrence Murphy. Now, you know, we all know our elected official. Terrence Murphy is really not from Long Island. Truly, he's not from Long Island, but he is from the suburbs. He is actually Governor Cuomo's New York State Senator. Yeah. Our lifeline in this business is constituent service. You imagine trying to take care of him? Yo, Murph, my road, I need some paving here. Come on. Chips, right? Senator Murphy is one of our newer colleagues. He's in his second term, and it's important that I highlight this. We affectionately refer to him as Murph. He is dogged, he is passionate, he is unrelenting, he's crazy, but crazy in a good way. And he has done a tremendous amount of work. And when he first came in, not long after he came in, I asked him to go to a conference in New Orleans. Like, wow, New Orleans, this is great. But it was on this subject. And he came back full of vim and vigor, and we all realized the scourge that this epidemic is, but it's not just New York. Certainly the governor knows that, and working with his colleagues across the country, this is an epidemic, every community, every state across the country. So he came back, and he is one of our co-chairs on the Senate Task Force and has done an outstanding job working on reports, going to hearings, and actually enacting laws in concert with the executive and the New York State Assembly. So while he may not be a Long Islander per se, he is a Long Islander at heart in terms of his advocacy, knowing full well the problems that exist down here. Now, I'd like you to give Senator Murphy a round of applause, please. Our other colleague, my good friend for many years, is Senator Phil Boyle. We served in the Assembly and the Senate together. Phil, actually, he was one of the first people on board and did about 18 hearings across the state in a very condensed time frame. And we had, actually, the cool thing was, we enacted laws. We didn't just talk about it, we enacted laws, working with the governor and the Assembly. But Phil did a fantastic, and I repeat, fantastic job, because it was a lot of time in a lot of meetings in a very short period of time, and the productivity, I think, has been a catalyst for further movement. So to Phil, thank you very, very much. So we have, in terms of the budget. And by the way, I was talking quickly in the back before we started with Jeff Reynolds and Linda, and I said, you know, if we had a conversation 3 or 4 years ago, and I said, this is where we're going to be today, no one would have thought we would have been here. No one. In reality. But the governor knows this very well. I read an article today where we all got lambasted, the state Senate in particular, for being profligate and not reining in taxes and spending. And, you know, I'll take the abuse that comes with the office in which we serve. But I also think it's important to recognize that we are making investments. Investments. And no pun intended, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. The money that we're investing, even at $214 million, it's huge to the field, but in the realm of the New York State budget, it's still not a lot of money. Still not a lot of money. But every dollar that we invest goes an incredibly long way. So with the governor's budget, that was an excellent, excellent starting point. And as the legislature is wont to do, we played with it, we moved it around a little bit, we added more money, and we came to what is a good compromise for everybody. I want to thank the county executive and the police commissioner and the department for the effort that they make on enforcement. And I know we talk about prevention, treatment, and recovery. I'm going to just say one quick thing as an aside that is not the purpose of our meeting here today, but is worthy of discussion. We in the Senate believe that we have to have a continued focus and a stronger focus on going after the bad guys. Criminal law. And I know everyone takes it seriously. I know everyone takes it seriously, but we have to make a holistic effort, and sometimes that includes making tough choices. So, you know, I can talk about the money and things like that, but we have a number of our colleagues. Chris Jacobs is from Western New York. He couldn't wait to get on this task force as a new member. And the governor travels all around the state, so he knows how this problem is pervasive, no matter what the community may be. So I am very fortunate to serve with my colleagues in both houses, regardless of political affiliation. I'm really fortunate to work with so many talented professionals who educate us and help us do our job better. So I want to, before I introduce my constituent, which is very cool to say, I want to thank Governor Cuomo for being a leader and demonstrating stick-to-itiveness, to say the least, and forging ahead on financing and coming up with new and novel ideas. And I think really the genesis of that was from a lot of the people in this room. So I am grateful for having the opportunity to be here to speak, and I want to introduce a woman who I adore and who is a leader in the field. And as Jeff said, the most important thing is she is the mom, which is the coolest and hardest job in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Linda Ventura.